So Lewis was 90 years old. He goes, Jeff, I really like you. He said, I'm much too old to be renting this place. He said, I'm never going to get any benefit out of it. I said, why don't you just buy it from me? And a couple minutes later, we signed up a deal, and that was it. The next day, we bought the building, and that's what became Epic Toys. We had a gentleman, a local attorney, walk into Epic Toys and basically plopped down his black American Express card that made that tinging sound like money. And he goes, I want this, this, and this, and pointed to 3 different areas in the store. And I said, okay, what is it that you're interested in? And he goes, I want everything on this wall, this wall, this wall. So he ended up spending over $100,000 with us.
Our Star Wars section was smaller than that TV. And that was the only stuff that was left in the store. I mean, this lawyer, he bought my back stock, he bought everything that we had in storage, he bought the toys that I had that I didn't know if I was willing to sell, and he was just like, yeah, just put it on the card. The money wasn't really an issue to him. He just wanted this stuff. The first 2 phone calls that I got were these nothing but Star Wars collections. We get there, he opens up the storage unit. It's a 10 by 10 storage unit. And it is packed. There's like an X-shaped walkway like carved into these boxes. So I was too wide to even get down this pathway. So I started taking stuff out of the storage unit. I was itemizing it and appraising them as I went. And before I even went in the storage unit, he told me what he wanted for the whole collection. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a great deal. This is definitely something that we're interested in. He goes, well, before you make a counter offer or anything like that, you should look at the rest of the collection. I'm like, what do you mean the rest? This is a full 10 by 10 storage unit, and I cannot even walk in here. And he's like, well, okay, come here. He opens up the 10 by 10 that's next door, and he opens up the 5 by 10 that's next door to that, and they are totally full. 0 walking way. And I'm like, okay, we'll take it. All of a sudden, we have a overfull store of nothing but Star Wars. We've rebranded. That was October. We get through the holidays, and January and February come around, and it's like we go back and we look at our sales, and our sales have like increased tenfold. And it's like, well, I guess this is what we're doing from now on.
The piece that you see right here, this is actually a Palatoy Boba Fett. It's one of the real rare versions. Palatoy means that it was part of Kenner when it went over to England. So they rebranded it as Palatoy. And this particular piece is AFA certified. So what AFA means is Action Figure Authority. They're out of Atlanta, Georgia. And they give 3 different grades to an item. Now, one of the grades is for the card back, one of the grades is for the bubble or the blister, and one of the grades is for the figure. And those 3 grades combined give you an overall number. The way it's set up is from 40 and below, they really don't use, and 90 and above, they use on extremely rare cases. So ever, and we're talking in probably the 20 years that AFA has been around. So for you to find a piece that's an 85 or a 90 grade is fantastic. That's like the best of the best. So the first piece here is a...
Hold on a second. An 80 is considered mint. The grading scale is in 5-point deviations. So an 85 would be like close to perfect. Nothing has ever been graded higher than a 90 in the history of their company. They had one item that was graded a 95, but on further review, it was knocked back down to a 90. Like
it's a G.I. Joe piece.
It was a G.I. Joe piece. No Star Wars piece has ever been graded higher than a 90. Now, the way that you would get like a perfect grade on something like that is it would have to be assembled by hand, cut by the most precise machine that you've ever seen,
The
and
figure would have to be hand painted perfectly,
by
hand
like a
sculpted perfectly.
heart surgeon. It would have to be every part of it would have to be perfect, and that just doesn't happen. When there's these automated process where they're pushing through hundreds of thousands of action figures, there's everyone's going to be a little off.
Yeah, something's going to have a little problem with it. So this particular piece here, about approximately 1980, 81, or 80, 82, 83, I'm sorry, for Return of the Jedi, you're looking at a graded 85-point Boba Fett. So one of the finest in existence. This particular version has 90 subgrades, which is like incredible to even think that it has 90 subgrades.
So the card back on this one is graded an 85. The bubble is graded a 90. And the actual action figure is graded also an 85. And the most important grade out of the three is going to be the card back. But with two other 85s, it kind of lowered the average a little bit. They have a formula that they use where the card back is like 50% of the grade, and then they average out the other two.
But basically what you're saying is this figure here is somewhere in like the second percentile of other things like
top
this.
top 1%.
Top 1%,
Yeah.
First percent.
Hey everybody, and thanks for joining us for our latest video where we bring you the best of the old, the new, the odd, and the wonderful. So if you're interested in this video or our channel, go ahead and subscribe below. Also, if you need an appraisal done or if you have items that you need restored, you can go to our website because we also offer service, and that is at KerstensAntiques.com. That's KAAntiques.com. You can also follow us on all of our social media platforms for the newest and the latest and the greatest on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We also do contests where you can win really cool stuff like this. Signed balls, shot glasses, or even a t-shirt. So go ahead, follow us today, get with it, and we're going to be bringing you new content every day. Thanks.